This market has no chill. My sound wasn't on. I figured out how to mute the sound when the song is playing, but then I got to remember to unmute it. I need more things here. I need all the things. But thank you for joining me, everyone. Nicole Minnis, Alexander G, Sam Nasty, Married at F. Yes, I know. Couldn't hear me. Shake and Bake, RC Rex. You guys got me thinking about the truck that I built out right before I came out here to Georgia, man. It was a 1972, 1973. It was a Chevy. It was labeled a C10, but it was a K10. It was the first year the K10s came out, and it sat stagnant. My dad got it from his father, and got it like close to being done, but then it just sat unworkable. And when I got laid off from the jab, I sat around and rebuilt that truck for like 4 months. There was nothing better than just laying under a truck and just turning wrenches. No, just really soaking in to a mechanical system, losing myself, distracting me from all the garbage. Those are special times, man. Cheers. It's Sunday. We got a brew. If you got one, whip it out. We're doing it. Oh, these are good. Terrapin. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and I think I figured out sound for how to play stuff on my television or what's playing. But let's get in. I have a lot of stuff to cover. I know I touched a little bit on Pendle, a couple other projects, but I'm going to be digging a little bit deeper into Arbitrum, Pendle, and all of these things that are brewing on the underside. They're not noticed yet, and I'm out here. I'm hunting, man. I feel the fun times are back. This is where the glory was made. I remember coming up out of a very small amount of money, and 2020, that last bull market, it shifted all of my mindset. So I'm excited to see that it's coming back. Honestly, we're coming back hard. I forgot to start telling everyone to check out our TikTok account, Blockchain Basement TikTokies. We do have many scammers. There's a couple scammers acting like me. My wife messaged me. She's like, "You're hacked." And I was like, "No, that scammer has more followers than me." This is sad. I'm terrible. The channel's growing much faster than my own personal, but I want the channel to grow. So I'm not really here to try to shill myself, really. You see some people out in California. We got some action going on in California. It looks like Xi Jinping visited California, and they cleaned up the roadways very nicely. Somewhere the homeless people have been taken to. This is from Smolting Wasi, the inverse brah, making his appearance online. But if Xi Jinping did stay for long term, this is what San Francisco would look like. This is what it would look like. Just immediately, they would really make it nice for him. But no, yeah, once he leaves, I'm sure that they'll go back to the despair that the city is in. Very sad situations which you see going on in the city centers. Definitely, if you can, just try to avoid the city centers. And I see all you guys I got to check out. Someone built out I think it was like an RV or a mobile home, so I got to check it out in the Discord. But there's a lot of news to go over, you guys. This was just absolutely sick. This is going to break the internet. This is going to be all the buzz tomorrow. Kid Rock, Joe Rogan, the orange one himself. What if we get a Trump and then a Carlson as a vice president ticket? Thoughts? That would be interesting all over the internet tomorrow. This is his son as well, Donald Trump Jr. But it's something else for the media to grab onto. I'm sure they're going to be ignoring this. Australian ports were hit by a nationally significant cyber incident, and logistics containers are piling up. So DP World Australia, responsible for 40% of Australia's maritime freight, and shuttered operations on Friday after the cybersecurity incident. Very interesting to see this happening. Again, this is just ongoing. These are the symptoms of a dying system that needs revamping. So these are why I highlight these things when they do occur. Because, again, if nothing's broken, why fix it? So, we see some vulnerabilities in our logistics system that keep getting little holes poked in them. But in general, guys, I am feeling hyper bullish. I'm feeling super excited. I saw right before I went live ICP is ripping. I'll probably check out that, but let's just kind of go through the overscope, get a feel for where the markets are at right now. We're going to get a couple different opinions. I'm going to show you my graph, kind of where the volume levels that I'm watching are that are holding right now for the time being. So let's get into it without further ado. This is from Pendle. Many charts are looking effing bullish, and the altcoin market overall just made fresh highs. Seeing that, see the top of this range in the next few weeks, even with pullbacks. Not sure if we're ready to travel above there for any meaningful time, but if we do, buckle up. He is just highlighting that many, I mean, this is the Bitcoin chart, but we are now at the front end of this portion. Catching the volume area that was created right here is very, very significant, especially for the time frame we're in. Making pretty fast moves on our way back up there. And this is your average altcoin chart at the moment. Top 500 alts market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is the majority of altcoins. This is where the majority of altcoins are, you guys. So that's why I'm now digging around looking for the gems, is because what goes well for Bitcoin bleeds into Ethereum and thus the rest of the market. And I'm following that process as it occurs to maximize the gains. So, without further ado, let's keep moving here. Miles Dushner, just with some good words of advice. I know we're feeling a lot of FOMO. I mean, there's projects that, my God, why did I not stack more of that? But I still stacked a bunch of other stuff that's done great. Just be thankful, and be happy for other people that are crushing it. Because, this is the chance of a lifetime for us to not have to work. I saw many people that are working nights right now. I work nights for a large portion of my career, multiple jobs at a time. It's exhausting. I finally, after the last cycle, it took me one cycle to get out of that need. And now this next cycle, I have my eyes on multiple homes, no vehicle loans, just an absolute, I like to keep a clean slate in as far as debt. Got well into debt when I was trying to make an up and come without crypto as a heavy metal, almost famous singer. So I know the struggle is real. All right, so let's check this out. Miles Dushner talking about there's many ways to make money, but where are we? He believes we're in accumulation phase, which I definitely agree with for the most part. Honestly, there's some projects that are ripping a little bit early. Give them some time. They will breathe a little bit back down and give you an entry point, but we are in the accumulation zone right now. Let me see if I can twist this the right way. I love my kitchen in my background. I built that, man. But this is important, and it's simple stuff. But create a watch list, you guys. Create a watch list, and then you can kind of rinse and repeat it as you see fit. But creating a watch list is super important. Then, the easiest method to start with individual sectors or narratives. I always kind of lump them into narratives. It's pick 2 out of 3 verticals that you're most bullish on and start your research there. Like, it highlights just like AI, RWA. These are all separate narratives and niches. ZK rollups, zero knowledge rollups. That's an absolute big deal. Let's see, LSD, liquid staking derivatives. DEXs, TJ was spot on very early on, and for very good reason. Hey, Brownie, can you let the pooch out? I got my cane Corso here yelling at me. Can you let him out, buddy? Thank you, dude. But DEXs, man, people are going to want DEXs. Decentralized exchanges are important. People are wanting it. NFTs, interesting thing to think about, but I don't discount the fact that they're coming back, you guys. I know it's hard to wrap our heads around, but this animal spirits are coming back. And then layer 2s, just systems that'll help open up bottleneck problems within different blockchains. It's a real thing. GRT slept on. I think GRTs, I've been bringing a graph for a long time. It's just, I think Ajax, I wanted a Cardano play. That's the only reason why I'm choosing Ajax over graph, but I'll probably end up getting some graph either way. I'm not, like, each one of these niches or narratives, I want to have some level of exposure to. That's the key. But then, I am kind of leaning into the RWA as my primary focus of what, in my mind, I think is the biggest potential. And that's just my personal process. I'm not telling you that's the right way. But once you decided those kind of organization of what's in your mind, the hottest ticket things like real world assets, is it going to be NFTs? yada, 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 layer twos. Then, you create a new list on TradingView, create this list and have, you're going to be following a lot of different projects as they come and go. Yeah, Humble, Rune is sick. And Rune is absolutely sick. I'm a huge fan of Thorchain Rune. I do have a couple stories, I believe, on that coming up here. But yeah, in essence, you're going to have to, I know this is kind of basic idea, but helping color code or like organize your list, very, very useful to do as things get more exciting. Now this going into making Excel spreadsheets and stuff, I don't get that, crazy about it. You know what I mean? I think that just creating separate labeled watch lists is definitely a good process for me to follow, and then organizing them in that layer 2 or AI kind of section so we can keep track of them, because things will start popping that you'll be really surprised about as we go through the next few months. This is from DeFi Investor. Just a quick overview on where we're coming up on the markets for this week. Bitcoin, the SEC has a window until the 17th to approve all Bitcoin spot ETFs. So that could get very interesting, right? Violent price action up or down. And as I said, the graphs, the Bitcoin graphic looks, bullish. And I always preface it outside of some nasty headline like a spot ETF decline or denial, right? That'd be a big one. But we have Matic. Polygon is set to make a major announcement on the 14th. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that. Thorchain, TVL, and trading volume has exploded. And I've been seeing this all over crypto Twitter. It is absolutely on fire. So watch out for this project, you guys. This is just that. And again, I'm not in this project. I recommended it at like $1, and I'm an idiot because I was but I'm not an idiot because I was stacking Link at 5. But it's gone nuts. It's absolutely outpaced. So shout out to everyone that's holding Rune. Super sick pick, super sick project. Absolutely crushing it in the accumulation zone. You guys are going to be just savages when we need to remember to take profits. Set those goals. Set in your mind what that reasonable expectation is and be able to pull that trigger. It will come, but you need to have that understanding. We have perpetual dexes and their trading volume increasing overall. As the volatility obviously has returned, this led to a spike in their revenue, which doesn't seem priced in yet. So we're going to see that revenue gain from this increase of use trickle down into these decentralized exchanges and all the tokens there within. It's going to get exciting. Then we have Cake. We've been talking about Cake for a long time, and it's absolutely ripping as well. Tokenomics upgrade is launching this month. Cake lockers will be able to control Cake emissions now. Now, Ape, this is one that has not woken up yet. That is one that's asleep still. This is something that might catch us by the boo-boo. It might catch me by the boo-boo, right? I don't have any mutant apes or any of that stuff. I have a few NFTs that Johnny's told me about, like Stan Lee original stuff. But, for the large part, like I don't have any Bored Ape Yacht Club, but it would be really cool to see that ape token find good use case within either like an awesome video game that they can come out with again or some kind of actual metaverse. I am going to be watching that ecosystem closely because they've done a lot. You got to give it to them. At large, I try to say I don't understand. I'm a hillbilly, so like my baseline is like, I don't understand, but like, they have money in the ecosystem. They have users now. Yes, it's gated, but yeah, I know. C90, I'm an idiot buying Chainlink. Honestly, I did my overall average buy cost of Chainlink. It's at like $3.50. So like, I'm pretty stoked on that position in general. Let's go into the rest of this stuff here. So this is where the juice at. Okay, this is the deep stuff in Arbitrum. Arbitrum obviously has taken a lot of limelight, a lot of notice. The price action really isn't there to show it yet, but I think it is coming. OCD, Drew, your cabinet is open. Oh my God. Okay. All right. There we go. So let's check this out. This is from Emperor Osmo. The Arbitrum Ecosystem making a comeback despite most alts still below their all-time high with $50 million in Arbitrum deployed for incentives on the ecosystem. So this is going to give you just some insight on what's coming over the next few months. I do see that Arbitrum is going to continue crushing it. It's going to be something that just wakes up one day and everyone's like, what? It's going to happen. I'm telling you, Arbitrum is going to wake up. So the hub, Arbitrum Hub, is for some of the most innovative DeFi protocols today. So during its launch, it shattered records. This is just highlighting its past and why it's gotten so much notice. For surpassing Ethereum in daily transactions earlier this year, the momentum is now once again on the rise. So, I didn't even notice that. What else is behind me? Listen, the wife's out of town, okay? I'm doing my best. God dang. So here's daily active addressers. Ethereum pretty flat. In comparison, Arbitrum had that big upswing during its initial notice, right around April, May. Good upswing, and then it dropped back down. We had like that little breath back downwards in the overall altcoin market, and now we are starting to get a little bit of a move up. Now it's not fully confirmed yet, but again, I think that's just if I'm backing up and looking at that, it's ready to come on back up. So the TVL is why we can kind of really feel better about that idea, is because it's on the rise as well. And the DEX volumes, as was noted, curling back up to the upside. So Arbitrum use and ecosystem, TVL, all looking strong. And the short-term incentive program that had played a huge role in this resurgence basically allocated $50 million worth of ARB as incentives to 26 different projects in the ecosystem. It presents it with just liquidity that trickles down into these other projects. My wife, no one's behind me. No one's behind me. They would die. If there was, yeah. A lot of people are like, when I get home, I take it off. I'm like, I never take it off. I go swimming with a hard iron on me. If I have. So, let's see here. The short-term incentive program, yada, yada, yada. We just have good liquidity for these up-and-coming projects, but this is the juice. Pendle. Okay, you guys, Pendle is the fastest growing yield tokenization protocol in the market. Has a TVL of 186 million, but it's had basically unstopped growth since the beginning of this year. This thing is up by like multiple thousands of a percent. I showed it yesterday, I believe, but I'm sure we'll be looking at the graph again here in a minute. First riding the liquid stake derivatives wave, and now investing deeply into simplifying real-world assets. This is the juice. And then within Pendle, you have PMP. PemPi is one of the first products to build on top of Pendle with its liquidity locker, becoming the largest holder of Pendle. Hey, Bronson, let that pooch in for me, buddy. All right, when you get a chance. Through liquidity rush events, they've been able to not only grow their liquidity, but also drive the value of this PMP token. This is just a very early mover on the Pendle ecosystem that might heat up very fast. Then Radiant Capital. Now you guys remember, I showed Radiant Capital. They're basically riots in the basement. Unbelievable. Very high yield when I showed it at like 65% yield. It was at the very front of its development. Now let's look at where the market's feeling about it, right? And again, that was like 6-8 months ago. Radiant been holding cross-chain money market over the past year, surpassing established players and amassing a $356 million total value locked. Recent expansion to Ethereum has already begun to pay off, and there's $2.8 million in ARB that's allocated in this that is going to be able to just move into liquidity for the rest of the markets. But Radiant Capital earnings over the past 6 months are as high as the largest lender in the market today, with 16 times less liquidity. 16 times less liquidity, and they are coming up just behind the largest lender in the market. That's huge. So with that being said, definitely watching Radiant as well. This is Trader Joe's. We've all talked about it. They're in that pickle with the grocery store. And you know what? Trader Joe's, the grocery store. How about this? How about you make a parking lot that fits more than a like a tiny little smart vehicle? Have you ever tried to back out of a Trader Joe's parking lot before? It's absolutely chaos. Unbelievable. So rant over. But Trader Joe's has begun pushing the limits on what a DEX can do, from introducing automated rebalancing of concentrated liquidity to its cross-chain integration, basically just utilizing it to incentivize that market and auto pool yield farm. Very interesting project. Definitely has made some noise in the in the last accumulation zone that we've been in over the last year, Trader Joe has done a fantastic job at being noticed by the market by showing value, use case. People are using it, man. So that's the type of stuff that I'm always looking for when it comes to, choosing a project that I think is going to be good. All these things play into it. So we have that all going on. And then just a few more pieces on deep stuff within Arbitrum. Silo Finance. This one, a little newer. I'll have to do more deep diving on it, but they'll be utilizing $1 million of the ARB token to incentivize its yield on their lending pairs. Had some really good TVL growth, as you can see here. Not bad at all. And then Mux protocol, this one gotta look into as well. Looks like it's an aggregator. Let's see here for perpetual dexes. Okay, so yeah, it's going across GMX V2 and V1, Gains Network, and Arbitrum. So spreading its wings out, getting a little more access to other dexes as well, outside of just Arbitrum. This is the kind of stuff that's being built in the background that everyone can fade and just not believe in. But I look at these types of projects as things where I take like 0.5% or 1% of my portfolio as a risk. It's a risk play, high risk, high reward. And it's funny to look at these projects be so mainstream talked about now. I remember when Johnny came to me with Pendle, and then he got a little bit. He was in and out. I don't think he had like a gigantic spot or a position in it, but he's very bullish on what it's done. And I just want to show you guys for context of what I'm looking at here. This is the year on Pendle, and it's up by 2,700%. Overall, this thing was, it came out pretty hot. It had moments of good usage, and then it would drop back down. But we were on the way back down from the bear market initiating basically, in that time frame. So, I don't really think that I don't count this as a bad thing. This looks like a smiley face to me. I put up a post about it. This is the overall graph for Pendle, though. I keep in mind it's only at a $261 million market cap. So, keep that in mind. What's up, little dude? Did you bonk your head? What'd you bonk your head on?
On the wood.
On the wood?
On the floor.
Ugh. Were you playing with the dog?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did walking.
Oh, okay.
And I shoot it out of my way.
Oh, okay. Well, give me a hug. Give me a hug. There's the boy. But Pendle, very cool project. Now let's look into the markets. Let's check out kind of what I'm looking at on the charts here. So we have, this is Bitcoin, good old fashioned Bitcoin at $37,200 as right now. I'll go full screen so I can see a little bit better. But as you can see, like what I'm looking at right now is we are creating a shelf. If I'll zoom in here, we have a volume node that's starting to be created right at this 37.2 level. If we finish this, I think we officially we're able to put in a green weekly candle, but this is given absolute potential for some big upside. I'm not going to be surprised if, this time next week, we are breaching into these higher levels around $40,000. If we can build a little bit of shelf spot right here at 37.2, right above us. It's pretty consistent buy volumes here. It's nothing crazy that sticks out, but really it was just all the action that happened right here. It seems like Bitcoin is just being magnetized upwards. What I hope for is nice, calm, collected growth. Because if it goes up too fast, we know that come down is heavy. And we are still susceptible to some horrible news about spot ETFs being denied or something like that. So keep that in mind when we're looking at the charts. But things are getting spicy in the altcoins. Chainlink here's Chainlink. I'll show you real quick. I just have a couple specific charts showed up. You guys can see just an absolutely thick volume node that created that $11.30 mark. So, in a flash crash, that's where I'm watching for a spot to YOLO. But essentially, it again is building this nice little shelf up here. Has the next volume node below it's right at about $14.50. But as you see, the markets have no chill, so it's looking good still. Now this is Solana, thick volume node down here at 20 bucks. And again, still, because there's like no volume nodes between here and I think it was like, it goes up to like $80 is where some real volume, if I was showing the rest of the graph. Let's see if the weekly brings it up for us here. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much in between here and $80 here. You guys can see. Let's see. I'll back this up. I'm gonna get like a trackpad or something. Yeah, guys. I mean, there's all the action that it previously will be finding itself at. You know, what I'm basically expecting is like some sort of a floor, maybe an angled floor, and then a move up to these, you know, lower buy order levels around like $80, 85 bucks for Solana. This is Avalanche, absolutely waking up. What the hell happened here, Avalanche? Avalanche is at, what is this? What is this? $18.80. $18.80 is where Avalanche is sitting right now. Absolutely stupid. This is ridiculous. So it's waking up. You know, I liked my preview of Avalanche on, let's see here. Go to Avalanche. So this year, I got a little bag of Avalanche, right? Because this double bottom W formation in my mind, that's what I'm looking at. And since then, I mean, it's just absolutely gotten sick with it. I got in around $11 right there on that up and come. So feeling great about that trade. In general, though, this ain't nothing compared to what I think Avalanche is capable of. I think we're definitely going to be, it is my opinion, we're going to be looking at like a $250, $200 Avalanche token at the peak of the next bull market. This thing is plugging into real world assets just fine. It's an extremely fast, competitive layer one. It's got all the bells and whistles of what I'm looking at for a contender in the markets to shake the feathers of Ethereum and other mainstream layer ones that are already well known. So I am not discounting Avalanche at all, as you can see. And in general, the rest of, oh yeah, we have Constellation DAG finally waking up. Now this is a post just about DAG's price action from the great Matsby. DAG in the history of the 50-week moving average. Last time it closed above the 50-day moving average, it ran for 32x over 196 days. Last time it closed, it fell 84% in 588 days and never really closed another week above it until now. So another 32x from here. We had $1.35. By the way, I am not too sad if I have a $1.35 DAG token. Hey, Bronny. Hey, Bronny. Hey, Bronny. Can you calm down, buddy? My son, he's going nuts. Yeah, the dog is. I have a 135-pound cane Corso that you know, he plays pretty heavily with the boy. But right here, this is another one I'm keeping an eye out. This is a Chainlink competitor, you guys. Teller Tributes TRB. You know, this one it's actually right near its previous all-time high already. So I'm waiting for it to retrace, but it had the previous all-time high right here at about $146. Currently, this thing's trading at 86, but the market cap, I mean, very movable. It's at a $216 million market cap. It's number 181 as far as market cap goes. This is another sleeper pick that is a competitor to Chainlink. So paying out to those, you know, I obviously love Chainlink, but I also am interested in what might compete with it, right? See what might do good. Constellation DAG, absolutely waking up. I'll show you guys this real quick. We have 17% gains on the day in Constellation DAG, 21% on the week. Hey, Bronny, buddy, please, here, Bronny, please. I need you to be quiet, please. Please. Good Lord. Oh my gosh. Dog. Bronny and Roomba, come over here, buddy. Come chill with me. This is a very deep pick of mine. This is like $54 million market cap. So as you can see, it's moving pretty quick. I got in around, I think it was like $21 million market cap when I got into it. It's moving very fast, right at 4.2 cents right now. I am very much excited about this. This is, again, that double bottom. W kind of level that I saw built up on it. Most of my buys were in these two drops. And in this drop, I basically just held through and just I'm excited now because it's definitely up on my overall position. So, feeling good about that. Here's my boy. What up? Um, oh yeah, where's my beer? How you doing, Bronson?
Good.
Were you fighting the dog?
No, I just trying to get the thing out his mouth.
Do you try to be a good boy? Why is that?
Don't want to get.
That look. That look. Look at that look of mischievousness.
No gun.
Oh. All right, scrap. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, yeah. That's funny. All right, keep it down, buddy. You are ridiculous. This is funny. So basically, this is from Arthur Hayes, or just something that Arthur Hayes said, and I thought that it was, hilarious when I looked at it at first. But he's talking about holding Bitcoin through 3 different cycles, turning $5 into 130K. And honestly, guys, like last cycle, I had like $4,000, make it or break it, and full send, and it made it to like 110. And totally saved my butt I got laid off for, what do you call them? Just internal things, through flu season. I got laid off. I don't even know what to call it without being banned on YouTube. But basically, I just didn't bow to tyrants. And it really held up my family at all aspects. Like, even with working 3 jobs, like there was no way I could have pulled off all this stuff without crypto. So when I see stories about this and people poo-pooing on it, like you can make monumental moves in your life with a small amount in the right project, but you have to exercise extreme patience, focus, and visualizing what it is that you're doing all of this for, right? It's manifest that, see it, visualize, see it, and make it happen. That's how you get to your goals. I did the same thing in music. Absolutely. It's very important. Now, this is from Raw Paul. Raw Paul and his Substack. Some of these charts I just found interesting because they're very counter to the overall narrative right now. The GMI chart on NASDAQ 100, just with everyone sounding the alarm on risk assets calling for collapse in equity prices, the NASDAQ 100 is up over 10% off the October lows and has just broken out. Something definitely important to watch. A lot of people are like, it's gonna fall, it's all gonna break, and this is gonna reset, and they're gonna be responsible and start over the system. It's just, we can't have nice things, guys. We have to find ways to better our lives outside of the hopes and dreams of some Janet Yellen moment of, wait a minute, I fucked up, right? That's not gonna happen. Just keep that in mind. Now we have this Coinbase announcing 2 major altcoins going on futures, and these are Avalanche Perpetual and Solana Perpetual Hedge, right? I'm really glad at least I have a good bag of Avalanche. No, I don't own Solana, but I am super glad that you guys that do own Solana are crushing it, because that's what it's all about. And it's really good to see Coinbase moving into just listing them on perpetuals. Though these are outside of the United States, I do believe this is the step in the right direction. So keeping that in mind, U.S. lawmakers propose to slash Gary Gensler's salary from $300K to $1. Okay, $1. That is pretty hilarious. They're just a little bit aggravated with Gary Gensler, and honestly, F them. You know what I mean? Like, what have you done to protect the banking system from their underwater mortgage-backed securities? Nothing. You haven't even talked about it. No one talks about it. It's the most aggravating thing in the planet for me, is that no one, I talk about him a lot, probably too much, but yeah. So hopefully he's just fired. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of medieval type practices. I'm not counting out tar and feathering. Modern problems require modern solutions. Cardano founder targeting a collaboration with Kraken on a layer 2 network. Why'd they do this to Charlie, though? Why'd they do this to the man? Look at this. What is going on? This has got to be an AI image. I'm a total jerk face if this is not an AI image, but this has got to be an AI image. It's got to be. Look, there's no line there. This is an AI image. Hoskinson of Cardano is showing interest in forming a partnership with Kraken to develop a layer 2 network with a potential collaboration discussed on November 12th. This would aim to advance the blockchain tech significantly in Kraken's ongoing search for L2 partners to make a more competitive landscape among these blockchain developers. Very cool to see. Very cool to see. I love Charles Hoskinson. Love what he does. He's very based. He likes a very good band, The Who, in Mongolia. Look him up. The Who. Blue Punk Rocker, a weekend show. That's right. I just can't stop. I got a silly little setup here. I might start using my outbuild and this little, but then Bronson will be like, "Let me in." Hey, honestly, he should be asleep right now. Don't tell his mom. I'm letting him stay up a little bit. Just because. He's a cutie, man. It's been pretty special hanging out with my little boy all weekend. Now, so let's just go. I'll go through my bookmarks because there's some big stuff coming up this week that we got to pay attention to, just in general for the macro markets and news. So we have this this coming week, the United States will release the CPI and PPI data in October. In addition, the emergency appropriation bill by U.S. Congress passed in September will expire on Friday this coming week, and the U.S. government is once again facing the risk of a shutdown. More like, just more psyop. They're just going to, we might shut it down. You better pass this gigantic Palestine funding bill and Israel funding bill all in one package or we're going to shut down. That's how it always goes. It's just so disgusting. Now, 5 states will decide the outcome of the 2024 election. This is for my homies in Georgia, because we're up there. We're in the deciding factors here. Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin sound familiar, right? These sound familiar. These states are going to obviously, sway which way this election does go. My God, I hope we get some decency out of it. This I'll play on the morning show. We got some good stuff posted about that. This is Bill Burr's wife flipping out the orange one at UFC. Very classy. Hackers compromised bankrupt Bitcoin ATM firm CoinCloud. Not well. We'll be getting more details on that overnight. Look at this disgusting fish. Look at this fish. This thing is bothersome. Look at that thing. Look at this. What kind of face is that? That's unbelievable. Just found that fascinating. You guys get my random stuff too. And we have Japanese investors dumping U.S. corporate bonds at the fastest pace in history. Corporate bonds not really paying out that well. And we also have this massive anti-socialist gathering in Spain, picking up steam. Things are getting hot in the European front. So be watching out for that. This just more dispelling of all the FUD against the U.S. dollar. It's honestly, we aren't losing the U.S. dollar dominance unless our aircraft carriers stop floating around the rest of the world. So with that being said, and then WeWork, a little bit more on WeWork. The loss in our commercial real estate hasn't accounted for the WeWork bankruptcy. And there's quite a bit of WeWork offices, high-end offices, high-dollar venues, I know, because I was part of the hiring and the construction of many of those locations. So that is interesting to see it rolling out. Definitely overextended. And just some lovely news for Avalanche on real-world assets coming. What's up, buddy?
I just fall in Rama's doo-doo.
You fell on Rama's butt?
Like, in his doo-doo.
In his doo-doo? Oh, my gosh.
Like, holy macaroni at this.
Oh, my gosh.
Why did I try and get this thing out here? Anyway.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing good. All right, I'm almost done. Look at this. So, real-world assets coming to Avalanche. Now, this is coming to Avalanche as well. I'm just glad that they're plugging into the potential for it. More primarily, it looks like they're angling at European outfits for, tokenization and treasury potential there. So just some really good stuff, you guys. Lots of growth is happening, lots of movement. I guess before I'll look at ICP because it is absolutely crushing it as well. $4.80, my God, it's on the move, my God. 18% up on the week. Holy snapperoni, we are feeling good here. This is great. This is these little plays that end up going great. This is the move, you guys. This is the move. Buying the dip, waiting for the rip here. So we're ripping up. I bet you it'll recapture. We're looking for this shelf right here. We'll probably run into some smackdown right at about $5. Now the thing I'm watching is if we can break above $5 and create that as our new support. But in general, I'm feeling freaking awesome about it. And yes, boys will be boys. This boy, oh my gosh, he is a handful. He has this race car that goes about 40 miles an hour. And, obviously I have tons of chickens. He's been herding the chickens back into the coop with the race car. And it's probably the most chaotic thing that I've ever witnessed in my entire life. So having a son, definitely keeping me on my toes. 3 girls, though, they are going to rip it up. They're gonna tear me up, you guys. That's just the way it is. And, just a reminder, welcome to the Thunderdome. One day in crypto, day 30 in crypto. Knives ready to yeet and everything. So, we are here for the volatility. We're here for the massive potentials that these coins give us. I hope you guys are all taking this information, doing your own due diligence, finding out what you think is going to be the strongest narrative to go after first. Think of it pragmatically. Put these all in a row and understand the overall plan that you're trying to get to. There has to be an end goal. There has to be something that you visualize and that is the goal. And then when the numbers do come, then you're going to be able to pull the trigger. Because last time when I was selling top, it felt like a massive mistake, regardless of how, awesome it was. It was great to sell the top, on my Ethereum. But I felt like an idiot because, oh my God, they say it's going to keep going up. Just remember to have that laser focus. Kelly Kellum, what's up? Absolutely loved the interview with the Rational Root on BitLab Academy too, you guys. If you didn't see the Rational Root interview with Kelly, absolute fire alpha, great overscope information, and really great notice that we have on-chain data that's particularly tailored towards Bitcoin. Yes, we use the tools that we've gathered from Wall Street and traditional markets on candles and levels and all that stuff, but on-chain data, absolutely goats in my opinion. So make sure to check out that video, BitLab Academy. If anyone can, find that link and make sure it's in the description because it was absolute alpha. So with that being said, I've listed a lot of good competitive projects that I think have good upside potential. We'll see if these projects continue to gain momentum and if they gain notice, if there's, articles written about their advancements. We have to know if they're actually in front of the public. It's great that you have, an operational amusement park, but if no one's there and it's just Clark W. Griswold, it's Wally World in National Lampoons, right? So all in perspective, but it's a super exciting time in the markets right now. And yeah, with all those projects, obviously I'm going to be digging more into Radiant. I'm more interested in, Pendle, Radiant primarily as those next moves under the Arbitrum scope. And my AI play that I'm beginning with is continuing to stack AJIX. I have a small amount of AJIX, but I am going to be moving more into AJIX. I will do a price prediction overall on AJIX. That one is going to be kind of interesting to do though, because you're thinking about a completely new paradigm for markets, artificial intelligence, and a whole new niche, right? That gives lifeblood for absolutely parabolic movement outside of what we've seen with, just blockchain projects, right? If it's an AI and blockchain project, a bunch of retail is all of a sudden freaking out because robots are going to eat them a year or two from now. And then there's these AI crypto projects that is insane potential for growth. And data indexing is a real thing that needs to be done. So I know that they have a use case. They got kind of the best of both worlds going for them, except for the price action, obviously right now in comparison to good layer 1s, good layer 2s. How do you recommend taking link profits at X value a certain month in the cycle? Ken's Turbo. So my position, I have a link bag that was begun in like 2019. I think 2019, and then a heavier buy March 2020, and then a overly heavy buy, overexposed move in just a few. I think it was like September 8th. I think it was. So I've already taken all the profits that I need for the year to like do what I needed to be done in the house, and obviously I had to take profits a while ago as well to finish this thing. You know what I mean? Like I had to take profits through the process. I'm at the point now with my link bag. I am going to be holding until mid 2025 or maybe a little bit before. That is my plan. Now, if you're coming from, you haven't shaved anything off. Like I never fault anyone for taking profits if you double up, right? Or even if you 30% up on a huge bag, that's a move. You know what I mean? So like, it's all about personal preference and time frame and what you have going on in your life. But this was a very fast move for Chainlink. Yeah, it could definitely come back down to like $14, and I wouldn't be shocked at all. Like looking at Chainlink, you have this. It's been great. We've been partying super, but look at this gigantic node that's built up. This node built up at 1130 is nearly as big as the volume node that was at $7.33. So keep that in mind. You know what I mean? This thing, there is, again, just like Solana, very little volume as you creep up into these levels. This is freaking wild, wild west zone, man. This is where price just absolutely mooned during the last bull market, and there wasn't many levels established of resistance or support. So we got to keep that in mind. In general, I'm thinking Chainlink is going to accomplish definitely. I feel very strongly that we're going to see a $200 Chainlink, man. I feel like we're going to see $200 Chainlink. I feel like we're going to see, 250 maybe even for Avalanche. And this chart, you see, I mean, it did have a little bit of chop and a little bit of hold spots right here. I mean, but that's basically where we're at right now, right? Like, so the next level it chopped a little bit at is $22. So, that's kind of where it's eyeing. Obviously, you have the mental barrier of $20 that's got to get over right here. So, yeah, man, like if you're thinking, if you're feeling like sharing charts, it's always good to remind yourself to take profits. If you're taking that screenshot of the chart, look what I did, just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Things can get sideways real quick. So, just keep that in mind. It's a super good time in the market. So you guys will watch. I'll be up pretty late tonight watching the price action at Bitcoin. Honestly, it's not moving really anywhere right now. Still stuck right at literally exactly 37,200. So looking like it's going to hold it. And it is insanely bullish if it does hold that. It is insanely bullish if it does hold that. So pretty fun times. I'll be digging deep because I got to find even more things, even more ahead of the rest of the news cycle, because I literally don't sleep. I just find the info. I share the info. I can't stop. All of you in the chat, absolutely savages for joining me, showing up on a Sunday night while everyone's asleep, chilling out. We're out here just digging deep in the caves for the gems. You know what I mean? Crimson Caravan, C90FTW. Oh my gosh, Sack Nasty, Shake and Bake. We got all the coolest. Kelly Kellum throwing out that alpha. Nicole Minnis with, Nicole Minnis is the one that reminded me to put out a post. Yeah, my God, I got so much going on. I got to start getting more systematic about posting everything everywhere. I got to get one of those things that just spreads the posts everywhere for me, but I'll figure that out as we go. Just building the channel out, and making it better. I don't want to get too stuck on the macro doom and gloom stuff, because honestly, there's a lot of positive stuff in crypto to be able to focus on right now. And, the retail and, people that are outside of crypto that are hurting, they're going to continue looking at it as a scam and getting pissed about it through the next year. It's just what happens, you guys. Like, it's more of the same. The only slight thing is change. To that change, we don't know. Yes, we're probably going to be in conflict with China by 2027, but we're a few years out. Yes, but absolutely love you guys for joining me. Maybe a Band-Aid. Merry Cantonese. I'll be heading out tonight, but I'll be seeing you in the morning. I will have my boy probably in the studio bouncing off my face, just kicking me in the head because he's a wild one. Come say goodbye, Brownie. Come wave goodbye to these fine folks. All right, you guys, you take care.